Government Tibbi College, Patna. Other dignitaries on the dais, dear students, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Uh, I'm really sorry for the inconvenience. Actually, there was some technical glitch due to which you had to suffer. I'm really sorry for that. So, without wasting further time, today I would like to talk about artificial intelligence in healthcare. My name is Dr. Mohammed Musaib. Currently, I'm working as a project investigator in ICMR study, which is called INDIVE. And I'm also the founder of Unani GPT. It is the first Unani bot of artificial intelligence. Thank you. So, before delving deep into the world of AI, we need to know what AI actually is. It is the theory and development of computer systems that are able to perform tasks that normally require human intelligence. यानी कि जो मशीन्स है उनको सिमुलेट करना पड़ता है जो ह्यूमन इंटेलिजेंस है उसको. अगर हम कंप्यूटर्स में ऐसी प्रोग्रामिंग डेवलप करते हैं जो ह्यूमन टास्क्स परफॉर्म करे तो उसको हम आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस कहते हैं. तो उसमें ह्यूमन टास्क्स में पर्टिकुलरली क्या आता है, विजुअल परसेप्शन, हाँ, जो हम आंखों से देखते हैं, या स्पीच रिकॉग्निशन, डिसीजन मेकिंग एंड ट्रांसलेशन बिटवीन डिफरेंट लैंग्वेजेस. Now, before going further, we need to know the history of artificial intelligence. Most of us don't know about artificial intelligence and its history, and many of us have a confusion that artificial intelligence developed maybe a year or two before. But the ideas related to artificial intelligence have been in the text, and there have been working regarding this sort of intelligence since many hundred years. So the first ideas that we get about artificial intelligence we get from the Greek mythology. We have two characters in the Greek mythology. One is called Talus and another is called Galatea. So Talus is actually a character in Greek mythology who was created to defend the state of Creta. So he is invested with powers which we can simulate with modern day robots, and these are mentioned in Greek myths. There is another Greek robot mentioned in Pygmalion. It's called Galatea. It's actually the story of a woman who was created the creator by the creator of artificial intelligence in, say, in ancient times. They would not call that by the name of artificial intelligence. So Galatea was actually created by an engineer, say, and she was actually created in a way that she looked very beautiful to him. She looked very she had all the features that she would like in her spouse, in his spouse, sorry. And then there is a myth in Greek mythology that he impressed upon certain gods to actually turn that robot into a human being. Now we move on to sequential history of artificial intelligence. So it was Arab engineer Al-Jazari who created a programmable orchestra of mechanical human beings. So he created sort of band which only consisted of machines that were able to perform different musical instruments. So that was the first instance of artificial intelligence. Then we have Rabbi Judah. So it is actually from the Judaic mythology, from the Jewish mythology. So he was a rabbi, a group leader when it comes to Jews. So he was the creator of Golem. Golem he created from the mud, and then he had some incantations put into that structure, and it turned it into a robot. In 1642, Blaise Pascal he invented the first digital calculating machine. Then in 1726 we have the famous Gulliver's Travels, that was written by Jonathan Swift. So there is the character of an engine which is able to improve speculative knowledge by combining different words and articles and phrases. It's able to generate new information and new knowledge. So that is an example of artificial intelligence in text. Then we have in 1818, Mary Shelley wrote Frankenstein, which is also called the modern Prometheus. So it was actually a story of a robot that was created by a certain engineer, and then the powers of this robot got out of control. And so it was actually showing us the dark side of artificial intelligence, or dark side of robotic creation. Then we have Samuel Butler. He speculates that machines will one day become conscious and supplant humanity. In 1941, Conrad Zuse built his first working program controlled computer. In 1945, game theory was introduced. It's not related to games and sports. Game theory is actually a mathematical theory that is used in that was used in development of modern AI. In 1950, Alan Turing, he developed Turing's test, with the help of which we were able to judge between the robotic conversation, the conversation developed by AI, and the conversation developed by human being. And if a machine passed the test, that means that it is language, that language that it's generated, it has human simulation. It is very near to the human language creation. Then we have in 1950s, Isaac Asimov, who is a famous writer of scientific fiction. He wrote three laws of robotics, so that those laws are related to the ethics of robotic creation. In 1951, we have the first working AI program written for checkers and chess. So we have many people around who might have played chess on computer. So it was a sort of simulation of AI, where the computer is playing against you. So in 1955, Arthur Samuels built a program which learns how to play checkers. So checkers is another game. So Arthur Samuels built such a program. It is able to play checkers on its own. In 1956, there was a AI conference. It was organized by Dartmouth College. Okay, it in this very conference, artificial intelligence was coined. In 1959, Jonathan McCarthy and Marvin Minsky, they founded the MIT AI lab. So it is actually Jonathan McCarthy who is actually who coined the term artificial intelligence. In late 1950s and early 1960s, Margaret Matterson and colleagues designed semantic nets for machine translation. So it is a preliminary level of these programming semantic nets. It was used for machine translation. In 1960s, Ray Solomon lays foundation of mathematical theory of AI. Then in 1963, we have analogy. It was a program written by Thomas Evans. It demonstrates that computers can solve the same analog questions that are given on IQ tests. In 1965, ELIZA was created. It was an interactive program that carries on a dialogue in English or any topic. In 1965, Dendri, a 10-year effort to deduce the molecular structure of organic compounds using scientific instruments, data. So it was the first software that was able to help us in finding the structure of organic compounds. It was also preliminary AI. So in 1966, Ross Cullinan demonstrated semantic nets. So it's AI program. He demonstrated it. So Shaky the robot was created. He demonstrated animal locomotion, perception, and problem solving. It was in 1969. Then in early 1970s, John Robinson established a natural language processing center. So from machine learning to we went on to natural language. I will explain these terms later. In 1973, Assembly Robotics Group builds Freddy Robot, which was capable of using visual perception to locate and assemble models. Then in 1975, we have Marvin Minsky. He publishes frames bringing together ideas about schemas and semantic links. So premas were different sort of informations that were brought together, computer informations that were brought together. So it was done in 1975. In 1979, Stanford CART was created. It was the first computer-controlled automatic vehicle. It successfully navigated a room full of chairs. Okay. Then in 1986, robot cars from the University of Munich drove up to 55 miles per hour on empty streets. In 1986, Barbara Gross and Candace Sidner created the first computation model of discourse, establishing the field of research. In 1997, Deep Blue chess machine defeats the then world champion. If anybody knows him, Gary Kasparov. He was a Russian chess player who he was number one and he was defeated by this blue chess machine. In 1998, Furby released its first successful attempt at producing a type of AI to reach domestic market. In 1998, Tim Berners publishes Semantic Web Roadmap. In late 1990s, web crawlers and other AI-based information extraction program became essential in widespread use of the internet. Now in 2000s, Nomad robot explores remote regions of Antarctica looking for meteorite samples. In 2002, Romba released autonomous vacuum. It was the first vacuum cleaner that was actually operated by AI. In 2004, DARPA Grand Challenge, it was a sort of racing car that was based on AI. In 2004, Spirit and Opportunity autonomously navigate Mars. Spirit and Opportunity, they were the space ships that were actually powered by AI. So they navigated Mars, sorry. In 2004, 2005, recommendation technology based on tracking web activity brings AI to marketing. In 2005, Blue Brain project. So Blue Brain project, I want to talk about this. This project was launched in 2005. So it actually gave us the molecular details and signaling of brain, and it was able to decipher the working of brain from which neural networks were developed later. In 2009, Google developed a self-driving car. In 2010, Microsoft Kinect is a machine learning for human motion capture. So it was a machine that was able to uh, decipher human motion or respond to it. In 2011, Watson defeats Jeopardy champions. So Watson was a robot that was able to defeat Jeopardy champions. In 2011 to 14, we had those assistants that were coming with different mobiles, like we had Siri for Apple or Cortana for other devices, or Bixby for Samsung, for example. So these were AI powered assistants.
I didn't understand that.
Then in 2013, Neil, Never Ending Image Learner. So it was released. So it was released at Carnegie Mellon University. It consistently compared and analyzed relationship between different images. Okay, so this was visual perception that AI was able to decipher. In 2015, Hawking, Musk, Wozniak, and 3,000 researchers, including Sam Altman, who is the founder of ChatGPT, They signed an open letter calling for ban on research of autonomous weapons. In 2017, Asilomar Conference on Beneficial AI discussed all ethics and strategies for bringing about beneficial AI while avoiding risk from artificial general intelligence. In 2018, Google Duplex was created. It impressed a trade show audience with its human sounding voice and ability to make calls on behalf of clients. So Google Duplex was later it was employed by many firms in USA and Europe, and it was used as human as a assistant, as customer supports executive. Amazon's recognition, facial recognition software caused concern due to ethical concerns. So Amazon's recognition facial, it actually collected data related to one's facial expression and other things, and that's why there were some concerns regarding its safety. So Google's Project Maven was a collaboration with the Department of Defense to allow the use of its API in drones. So API, so it was used in drones, Project Maven. In 2019, FDNA uses AI to detect rare diseases. So it was the first tool in FDNA was the first AI tool which was able to detect rare diseases. It actually used uh, stimulation from face. Face was used as the main uh, organ in the body, uh, which was able to the FDNA was able to decipher information from face in detection of certain diseases. In 2020, OpenAI announced Dell-E. It was an image-based AI that was able to generate text-based images. You had to input some text, and it was able to generate images from that, depending upon the situation that you had actually provided in the text. Then we have in 2022, we had an AI revolution, we can say, because Mid Journey was created. It was an artificial intelligence that was able to generate not only images, but it was able to generate art, and it was able to compare different images, and in fact, it could decipher information from images that were provided to it. And the same year, Chat GPT was launched by OpenAI. So Chat GPT, we all know how revolutionary it has been in this small span of time. So these are some of the AI generated images that I developed using text description. The first image being cupping therapy in medieval times, and in other images I used Avicenna uh, teaching at seashore, and he actually drinking uh, a decoction of certain drug, and also he was studying. So these were actually prompts that I used in order to develop these images using AI. Now, according to PwC, which is the research firm on business, AI's estimated potential contribution to the global economy by 2030 will be 50 a mammoth 50 $15.7 trillion. So this is going to be one of the biggest industries. I think this is going to counter other industries that were trending in the last decade. So I had told you earlier that I will explain these terms. So these are some sub terms that are used in artificial intelligence, machine learning. So what is machine learning? Machine learning is a subfield of artificial intelligence. It focuses on creating algorithms and statistical models that enable computers to learn and improve from experience without explicit programming. तो ये हमें ऐसे एल्गोरिदम्स और ऐसे स्टैटिस्टिकल मॉडल्स बनाने में हेल्प करता है, ठीक है, जिसकी वजह से हम certain actions या certain programs develop कर सकते हैं. So it's the process by which machines can automatically analyze large data sets, identify patterns, and make predictions or decisions based on the data. Then another term that is associated with AI is natural language processing. Natural language processing is a subfield of AI and linguistics that focuses on enabling computers to understand, interpret, and generate human language in a meaningful way. Natural language processing models are specialized algorithms designed to analyze and derive meaning from natural language data, text or speech, allowing computers to perform tasks like sentiment analysis, language translation, and speech recognition. तो NLP में क्या होता है कि बेसिकली एक ऐसी ऐसी प्रोग्रामिंग की जाती है जिसमें जो ह्यूमन लैंग्वेज है उसको डिसिफर किया जाता है, उसको एनालाइज किया जाता है इन टर्म्स ऑफ इट इज ग्रामर, इन टर्म्स ऑफ इट्स इमोशंस एंड सेमेंटिक्स. तो उसी बेस पे जो चैट बोट है, फॉर एग्जांपल एआई चैट बोट है, वो जनरेट करता है उसका रिस्पॉन्स. तो ये नेचुरल लैंग्वेज जो इंसान जो अपने जज्बात के साथ, अपनी इंटेलिजेंस के साथ जो लैंग्वेज डेवलप करता है, तो उसी को सिमुलेट किया गया है नेचुरल लैंग्वेज प्रोसेसिंग में. तो ये भी एक एआई का टूल है. देन वी हैव न्यूरल नेटवर्क्स, crucial to development. A neural network is a computer system designed to work by classifying information in the same way a human brain does. न्यूरल नेटवर्क कैसे वजूद में आया? जब ब्रेन का मॉलिक्यूलर स्ट्रक्चर उसको स्टडी किया गया, पर्टिकुलरली जो न्यूरोनल सिग्नलिंग है उसको जब उसको स्टडी किया गया, उसी बेस पे हमने आर्टिफिशियली नेटवर्क्स बनाए जो बिल्कुल जो न्यूरॉन्स है उनके बेस पे, मतलब उसी लहजे में या उसी अंदाज में वो कम्युनिकेट करते थे. That is what we call neural network. It can be taught to recognize, for example, images and classify them according to elementary they contain. So these are the AI industry leaders right now. OpenAI is the leader, global leader in AI, because it has provided us many of these engines, particularly Chat GPT or Dell E or Bard even, and we have Beidou, that is a Chinese-based AI company, and we have Replica. Replica was actually it was used uh, to simulate like uh, human emotions. It was used to simulate human emotions, and it is a chatbot that actually conversates you by understanding your emotions from your text. So we have other like Google Brain Team. So these are they make machines intelligent, improve people's lives. Then we have IBM, Microsoft Research, DeepMind. So these are different sorts of AI leaders that are working in different sectors of AI. So right now, the most trending ones that we see are Bard AI, that is from Google, and then we have Chat GPT and Alexa. So now let's talk about Chat GPT because it's very popular. So we need to know about this Chat GPT. So what is it? Chat GPT is a chat generative pre-trained transformer. Is a large language model. So I have told you about this language model and neural network and machine learning. So it's basically one of the three. Is a large language model machine learning chatbot created by AI now and released in November 2022. So why all the excitement about it? Chat GPT is the first chatbot of its kind to be able to write and converse convincingly in English. How it is being used in the sciences? It is used to write essays and talks. It is used to summarize literature. For example, if you have a complete book, say of 1,000 pages, and you want to summarize it, you have to just upload it on Chat GPT. It will summarize it in, say, you will write summarize it in 100 words. It will summarize in 100 words. So how much this revolutionary this technology has been. It can improve our papers. Okay, many of the authors, particularly in our Unani arena, they had problems with writing papers. They had all the information, they had all the talent of doing research, but when it came to writing a paper, so they had problems with English language, turning their papers into standard English. So Chat GPT is one tool that will help you to write in the most standard English that is available in the research arena. It actually identifies research gaps because it is fed with information and researches up to 2011 right now. All the researches that have been done is fed to chat gpt. So any research gaps anywhere where it thinks that research can be done, it will help you generate that. It can write a computer code, it can help you develop applications, it can help you develop computer programs, websites. So all you need to do is to learn coding. It can perform statistical analysis. So many of us had problems when we do research, we have problems with statistical analysis. So it is a tool that if you provide it with data sets, it will be able to generate statistical analysis. So what are the positives of chat gpt? So it can actually accelerate the innovation process because it has actually decreased the time that we do for research, particularly we can say the literature review part. We had to sift through many books in order to get the required information. Now you can actually type on this chat gpt and in fact ask it for the references for the same. It will also give you references. It will shorten time to publication. So we had problems when we wrote a paper or a research article. We had problem that it took months in order to uh, actually edit it and do other things. Now you can do that in a short span of time. It is able to do editing and actually improve your paper for on in line with the publications, the global publications. It can make science more equitable. It can actually help us compete with western world and the developed world because it is able to provide you all the information that is required, that is needed. So it can increase the diversity of science perspectives. Okay, then what are the negatives of chat gpt right now? It gets things wrong sometimes. I have seen it can get things wrong. It can spur even misinformation because all of it is data. It is actually that most of it is data is fed from search engines like google, yahoo and other things. So it can, if there is a misleading article for example on net, so it can actually use that information as well. So we need to be very cautious about that. Need to be carefully monitored, edited by a human subject matter expert. So we need to actually, if it is generating a content, we need to cross check it because sometimes it may use very poor references in order to generate a response. Its writings lack depth right now. So right now the problem is that its writings, they don't have too much depth. They are actually because it is data is limited right now. So maybe in future after chat gpt 4 there may be several other versions that may be able to help us actually fight this negative side. It lacks its own set of ethics, relying on the source from it whom it learns to create them. The problem with chat gpt is that it actually uh, it does not follow the ethics of publication because many times it can use another person's information or paper without them knowing. So plagiarism is very really a great problem with chat gpt. So these are some of the examples of other AI startups that are there in the market. We have Zipline. It's a blood and vaccine delivery via drones. This is in US and European countries. So it is able to locate the health facilities where it will drop this blood and vaccine. Everla is a trial preparation through document analysis. Vicera is a personal assistant. Shield AI is a type of drone, AI drone that is used in combat situations. It includes mapping and identification. So now why do we use AI in healthcare? It will save time and efficiency, shortage of clinicians because we don't have enough doctors on board. So it is able to fill that gap. It's able to improve patient outcomes. So you will know that in the subsequent slides. Why AI in the healthcare? The perfect storm. We have tons of data generated by the minute. So because we have a lot of information that we cannot sift using our human brain alone, so these types of tools are able to help us sift through that data in order to generate something. We have robust algorithms. Algorithms is a sort of command, is a, we can say, a recipe. Like we have a recipe for food preparation, in the same way we have recipe for programming, that's called algorithm. So we have robust algorithms, we have processing power, because we have great technologies, like we have 5G now in this part of the world. So processing power is also very good. So there are some examples of AI in healthcare. We have patient self monitoring, chronic and acute conditions post surgery. So Peerwell, I had heard about this. This was an AI tool that was actually utilized for joint replacement. The patient had to enter their information and their signs and symptoms in this very tool, and it was able to provide them information before and after surgery. Then we have this one is going to be a revolutionary tool. It is extended visual assistant, EVA. So those persons who are born blind, or who actually are blind due to some secondary illnesses, so they can actually use this tool. So it's a controlled IVR for the visually impaired. It uses machine learning to recognize, it is able to recognize object. It can use text and signs, and verbally describes what it is. So if, for example, I am wearing it, so it can tell me what is coming in front of me, at what distance, and what sort of movements they are, or gestures they are making. So this is very important tool for these blind people. Then we have patient self monitoring, AI apps for more. So, certain apps have been developed for diabetes management, for example. So you put in all the information that is required in terms of signs and symptoms and other tests, and it is able to help you give advice. We have the examples are the smart watches that are health watches that are there in the market, that are able to detect your pulse rate, your SpO2, and other things. So there are apes that are actually uh, use it for palliative care in very serious illnesses like cancer and in congenital heart disease. So clinical trials, it certain AI tools are able to find the right candidates for the trials based upon the information about their research they have done. So they are able to predict bioactivity of patients in trials. So in advance, they will actually they are able to predict what will happen to this patient after that this drug is taken. So we have scheduling, TrueCare's Baymox bot. It's one AI tool that is able to actually schedule your doctor's appointments, and it can find doctors for you based on your interests. So examples of AI in healthcare, again, we have pattern recognition, we have skin cancer detection, we have arteries, AI assistant for radiologists, or disease. So these are actually some of these tools have been developed, some are in development, or some are just patented. Now, how AI in predictive analytics modeling can benefit patients? So it can actually increase the accuracy of diagnosis. Okay, it can improve preventive medicine and public health. It can enhance personalized care. It can accurately predict insurance costs. It can streamline research and development with prediction models. It can guide drug development to deliver medications that meet public need. It has better patient outcomes. Now, AI, what can AI do in research? It can analyze data, it can clean data, okay? It can identify patterns in data so as to make new conclusions from the data. It can help in discovery of tools. It can gather data, like we have drone operators in places that are too remote or dangerous for humans. It can analyze and match. We can actually use two studies and analyze data between these two studies. Okay, we can match patients to clinical trials. Future applications of AI in healthcare. So what can we do in future using AI in healthcare particularly? We will have AI powered predictive care. So we will be able to predict the outcome of treatments, the bioactivity of medicines in the patients that we are giving. We would have networked hospitals. Hospitals will be able to communicate with each other on the basis of cases that will be actually matched by these AI networks. Okay, we will have better patient and staff experiences. Then we move over to our Unani tool that we developed uh, in March 2023. So actually, I developed it, and my another friend, a junior, he helped me in promotion of this tool. His name is Dr. Mohatram Ansari. He's from Agra. So it was prompted on an OpenAI platform that's called Aura.ai. The sources used in prompting include the information on all the major Unani physicians and scholars from Asclepius to contemporary times. Most prominent books from Unani medicine were used in prompting. To mention a few, like we use it Al Qanun Fitiv, Al Hawi Kitab al Mansuri, Kitab al Mia, Kitab al Tasrif, Al Jami al Mufaridat, Khazain al Adwiya, etc. Several websites and databases related to Unani medicine were also included in the prompt. So prompt is actually uh, programming. So we programmed using this information in order to make this bot. The bot was launched and made public in March 2023. It was promoted through different social media platforms. Now, Unani GPT picked up pace very quickly, and in span of 24 hours, first 24 hours, we had more than 400 conversations. In the first week after its launch, Unani GPT had become the most trending bot from 20,000 bots on the website. So we got a message from this Aura Labs that your bot is one of the trending among 20,000 bots on the website. So that was very encouraging. So here are few of the answers generated by Unani GPT for different questions. So these were some of them generated by me, some of them were sent to me by different people. So for example, what does Ibn Sina say about Humaydiki? So there is an entire paragraph where the Unani GPT describes what Ibn Sina said about Humaydiki. Or we have what are the standard Unani terminologies for typhoid fever. So it actually mentions that. And then we have, for example, we needed to find what is in the advancing our prompts, and we raised the issues with Aura Labs, but we did not get timely response for that. So what is the future of Unani GPT? So due to limitation of Aura Labs based bot and failure to pay dividend, we stopped. So we have actually stopped its promotion from some time. So that's why they have actually earlier we were given generative engine of 3 GPT 3.5, but it has been downgraded to 3 because we did not promote it. But only few days back they have promised me for a robust upgradation. So we are looking forward to it. We're actually thinking of developing an application for this. So maybe it will take some time. So we are also working for an independent bot because this one was a third party. Aura Labs is a third party. We're actually trying to develop an independent bot based on Chat GPT, where we will use professional these prompt engineers, but we are short of finances right now. So we are in anticipation, maybe in future we will try to develop that. So what's our vision? The vision of Unani GPT is to make resources of Unani medicine accessible. So this is one of the problems with the information that we have. So it's in classical texts, most of which are not available in a good translatable form, and they are not accessible enough for everybody. So we want to make them accessible. We want to actually help them translate using these AI tools, and to make it a tool to not just deliver high class information on Unani, but as a primary tool of literature review and other resources for research. So this is our vision. We want to make it a high class tool. We want to make it a prominent tool for research, for literature review, and for supplementing research, or for generating information regarding different types of research that could be done in Unani medicine. So we are also determined to customize AI based tools for cutting edge delivery of healthcare service in Unani medicine. So this is something that is in pipeline. Actually, I have joined a course on prompt engineering. Maybe in future we can be able to customize certain AI based tools that could be used in Unani medicine. Thank you for your attention. So questions. Hello. Hello. You can open this talk for questions now.
Hello.
Hello. Sir.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam.
This is Dr. Tanveer, PG scholar in the GTCH final year,
Okay. Okay, sir.
Department of Mahitul Amraz Pathology.
Nice.
Actually,
Okay.
I wanted to know about the future of coding in terms of BUMS student. If one completes UG, can he opt or she opt for 6 months coding course, and it would be helpful for this these things or not?
I think this is out of the box thinking, because we know that the coming age is going to be age of AI. So we need to prepare. Unani scholars need to prepare themselves for the future. So we can have BMS students that can actually learn coding or learn prompt engineering. So there are many courses that are available on net. So they can actually, if they learn, for example, coding or prompting, so they have the ideas that will help them generate different AI tools in future. So I'm anticipating, if people actually want to learn coding, I can help them with that.
Okay. One more thing, you discussed about the plagiarism in literature. How it
Mm.
is taken seriously in terms of the Unani literature, because very some people or very some scholars when they come and join PG, they are aware of plagiarism. So how
Mm.
it is taken seriously now in the Unani field?
Okay. So actually, this is out of the topic question, but still, then I would actually try to answer this.